And I'm going to run it. Look at this. We have Kindle selected, and his Lamborghini's there. Raby is selected. There's his Toyota. Darren selected. There's his cars. And that's how you do one-to-many relationships. How easy is that, huh?
Nice.
Yeah. As you know, if you're setting up two SharePoint lists and you've got a, let's see, a primary key for a SharePoint list, which is always the ID, right? That's the primary key. And that's the one end of the relationship. And then you've got another SharePoint list over here that is the foreign key. And let's say we got a customer table over here. And then we've got, let's say, orders over here. And an order list has got a column called the customer ID. And you just create a numeric column, okay? And whenever you've got a customer and they're going to place an order, you grab the customer ID and you put it into the column over here on this SharePoint list called customer ID, just drop it in there. And that's how you do a relationship with SharePoint lists. And what we could do is we could just create a completely new SharePoint for these Zoom calls. Let's just do that. Maybe PowerApps. Okay. Very good. I'm going to click finish. We'll have a fresh new SharePoint list. So listen, let's create two SharePoint lists. So if you get the stuff over into SharePoint, you could create a lookup column, and that's not how I would recommend doing it. There's a Northwind database, Access database that I worked with. I left all those lookup columns intact, but and I learned why I don't like that, which is you run into delegation issues. So if you're going to do it the right way, let's just create two lists here. So we'll create a list here, and we'll call it customers. So we have customers, okay? And with any SharePoint list, you're going to have an ID. So you've got an ID and a title. So I just created a new customers table, ID and title. Okay. Maybe we'll just throw the name of the customer in there. And then back here, I'll go in here and let's say, yeah, let's create a list called cars. Okay. And for this car, I want to see the ID. And we'll also add a number, and this number will be called customer ID. And it's a number here. Okay, so now over here in PowerApps, so let's add in a gallery. Where's my galleries at? There it is. All right, so this will be customer. And I'll give that a border. You know what I might do? Would you guys be interested in learning about the patch function? Because I could put a form on here, but if you guys want to learn something new, I could show you how to use a patch function.
Yes, I've been using that a little bit at work.
Okay, very good. And that's what I use for all my applications. I use patch. I don't use
forms. I don't mess with the galleries that much or the forms.
Yeah.
I like to create my own forms.
All right, very good. All right, so let's tie into this SharePoint list. Okay, so I'm going to go to the root of the SharePoint site. I'm going to go into the data sources. I'm going to add data connectors, SharePoint. There I am. I'm going to paste that in there. Customers and cars. All right, so here is cars. I'm sorry, I meant to say customers first. Select the customers on one side and the cars on the other. Okay. Now, what I'd like to do for both of these, I always like to give my galleries a nice dark gray color. And then I go in here for template fill and I say if this item dot is selected, light yellow, is white. All right, that's probably good enough. All right, let's add in a text box. Okay, now for this text box, we don't want anything in there, but for the hint text, we'll say customer name. And you know what? Let's just make this as wide as that. Probably want the height to be 40, which it already is. And then for the car, actually, let's make this more like 500. There you go. And then over here for the vehicle, or they say car name. And let's add some buttons here. And I'm going to zoom in a little on this. Add. Okay. And I hit Control-0 to zoom out. It's a little nifty little keyboard shortcut. Now what we'll do over here for this text box, we'll say TXT customer. Over here, we'll say TXT car. And probably for our galleries, it's probably a good idea to say gal customer and gal car. Okay. And what we'll do with this patch statement is we'll say patch. And the first parameter is the data source. So we will say customers. And I'm going to copy the name of that data source because the second parameter, if we're just inserting, adding a new value, which is what we're doing here, we're just adding new values. What we'll do is we'll say defaults. It's a function here, defaults, and we'll give it the name of that data source. And then the third parameter is all the data that we want to put into that record. Okay. So what we have is a title, and that title, we want to take whatever was entered in the customer text box. We'll just throw it in there. Now, is there anything else in a customer that we want to provide? I think the customer is really basic. It only has a title, I believe. And that is true. ID will be automatically provided for us. Okay. Then over here, so that will, okay, let's enter a few records here. Okay, I'm going to say Darren. Boom. There's Darren. All right. Let's enter in Raby and Kendall. All right. So now we've got 3 customers. And then over here, you know what? Let's just copy the code that we have here. We'll be doing almost the same thing over here. On select, instead of customers, we're going to say cars. Yeah, cars. We're doing this the same exact thing. Now the title, that's going to be TXT car. But for a car, we're going to add in one more value, which is the customer ID. Now the customer's ID is going to be whatever is selected in the first gallery. So gal customer dot selected, which will give us the underlying record for whatever is selected in that gallery. We'll say dot ID. I'm going to put it here. I don't have a Mustang, but I'd like to get a Mustang. So I'm going to add Mustang. There we go. Now let's do something here. Like I'm going to copy this label, and over here, I'm going to say customer ID. Okay. So it's going to display the customer ID, and then I'm going to copy and paste this. And over here, I'm going to display the ID there. Okay. So we can see that it's actually working. I would also like to have a Dodge Viper. Can you tell that I'm into muscle cars? All right. So Raby, you're muted. So feel free to unmute yourself if you want to tell me what your dream car is. So Kendall, tell me a dream car for you.
Toyota.
Okay. Toyota.
Okay.
Very good. I'll add Toyota for you. So I have you selected here. And look at that. So your ID is 2. What about you, Kendall?
About a Lamborghini.
All right. Yeah. I mean, that sounds nice. All right. So I've got you selected, Kendall, and I'll click on add. Okay. There we go. So we got 1, 2, 3. Now, what about this? What if we only show, so we have a one-in-many relationship right there, but chances are you only want to show the cars on the right, whichever is associated with the customer on the other side, right?
Right.
Okay. So what we'll do is we will, on this gallery for the data source, it just says cars. So what we want to do for cars is we want to filter this. Hey, if you're getting anything helpful out of this, a comment or even a like really helps the channel, and lets people like you know this is good content. Much appreciated. Okay. Filter the cars. We're a customer ID. This is like, Kendall, if you're familiar with SQL statements, this is like your where clause in a select statement. Customer ID equals gal customers dot selected dot ID. And I'm going to run it. Look at this. We have Kendall selected and his Lamborghini is there. Raby is selected. There's his Toyota. Darren selected. There's his cars. And that's how you do one-to-many relationships. How easy is that, huh?
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you have to have them on the same screen?
No, we don't.
Okay.
In fact, I mean, let's do a new screen. Screen 2. And then we could have this gallery. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to paste it over here on the screen 2. And then what we could do, a lot of times what people like to have are little drop downs. So we'll add a drop down here for our customers so we can bind this drop down list to customers. Okay. Now we probably want to show their title. Okay. So drop down one, let's say drop down list, and we'll call this customers. Okay. And then for this gallery, instead of looking at that gallery on the first screen, we'll say drop down list. So look at this. Gravy. Kindle. Isn't that cool?
Nice.
Yeah, so it's a really simplified way of doing one-to-many relationships. That's how I do them in all my apps. And because, okay, so why you don't want to use a lookup column within SharePoint is you see how easy this is. This is a numeric, and this value over here is numeric. Well, if this was a lookup column, it would be a complex column where you say customer ID, then you have to say dot ID. And if you do that inside of like the where clause, the second parameter within the filter, it has to pull over all the data to perform that where that filtering process. If you write it this way, where you're comparing a numeric to a numeric, it doesn't have a property dot, object dot property. You have to drill into it. It can delegate that stuff over to SharePoint, which is what happens here. Notice that we get no delegation warnings at all. Okay. So that, in my opinion, that's the best way of doing it. If you're using Dataverse, you can get away with doing it. It's actually the recommended way, actually doing the lookups. So you're going to handle the situations a little differently based on the data source. Guys, for some reason, YouTube thinks you're going to like this video next. Let's see if they're right. Or you can select this playlist, which I've selected for you based on the content you're currently watching. Guys, got to hurry. Click one of them. Otherwise, YouTube's going to autoplay some other video, which you probably don't want.